I got an article here from Puck. It's on Archive, but Brian Roberts is one that got away. Brian Roberts is the head of Comcast NBC Universal. It talks about how he had tried to or he tried and failed to intercept Bob Iger's takeover of the Fox Entertainment assets, talking about Disney, and settled for Sky instead. The question came up of what's he going to buy. It came up again last year when David Zaslav masterfully executed his stealth merger with Warner Media. That would have been a huge thing. The question came up again this year after Microsoft agreed to pay $69 billion for Activision and Blizzard. And I talked about it would have been a massive influx of IP and all that kind of stuff. But basically, this came out because, or this article come up because, he said after news of the deal broke, I noticed that Roberts had few good options left. Viacom CBS with a market cap of $21 billion was too small to deliver meaningful scale to NBC Universal. And he goes on and talks about basically that Electronic Arts, the formidable gaming company, which had a $40 billion market cap at the time, that has since fallen to $36 billion, would be a viable option for him. But I guess apparently it fell through. I've got an article here from Kotaku. It's on Archive though, luckily. But reportedly EA is looking to sell or merge, and it talks about basically it references this article, the one from Puck, essentially, but it kind of condenses it down. It talks more about the video game aspect of it. There's reports that EA is primarily interested in a merger arrangement that would allow Wilson, to remain as chief executive of the combined company. Wilson, they're talking about is the Andrew Wilson. Actually, they don't even fucking mention it, but whatever. And they don't even mention that it's fucking Andrew Wilson, but okay, whatever. Anyway, yeah, they finally mentioned it down here after already referencing them up there. That's Kotaku, folks. But anyway, whatever. And they talk about how it had fallen through, and then there's the usual, we don't comment on rumors and speculations relating to mergers and acquisitions, and all this kind of stuff. And then they kind of go over the same shit again. But the idea that EA would be looking to merge with another company or be possibly bought by basically by Microsoft would be the only company large enough to actually buy them. Otherwise, it would be more of a merger. Because Sony, would they realistically be able to just buy EA? No. It's not. I mean, they would, but it would still be more almost of a merger. Like they would almost be combining and stuff. But anyway, this also come up because they talk about here that Take-Two announced it was buying Zynga for $12.7 billion the other day. That's Grand Theft Auto publisher, the 2K games, etc. and stuff. $12.7 billion. That's obviously a hell of a lot of money. It's not as much as EA is worth, but at the same time, I know some investors are probably worried because FIFA is the whole EA FIFA split is basically it's confirmed now, it's official. They're not going to be using the FIFA stuff, which I don't really blame EA, to be honest. There's those guys are wanting to double their rates and stuff, and it's what the fuck for? It's but anyway, whatever. Then it goes on, the Kotaku article kind of goes on and on some more about buyer reports that Wilson approached Disney as recently as March in pursuit of what sources described as a more meaningful relationship than licensing deals, talking about Disney with the Star Wars license. The news comes as EA has lost or abandoned some of its existing licensing deals. The publisher recently revealed 3 new Star Wars games currently in production. Its exclusivity deal with Disney for the Star Wars license isn't going to be renewed when it expires in 2023, which it's a good thing all around because it could mean better games because EA hasn't exactly lit the world on fire with their Star Wars games. But anyway, whatever. That's allowed competitors like Quantic Dream and Ubisoft to announce their own big Star Wars projects. They also revealed last week that it's something I talked about. They're ending its similar 10-year exclusivity deal with FIFA and will rebrand as EA Sports FC. They talk about whatever EA's future hold. One big concern with consolidation is how it will ultimately impact employees at these companies. Well, the thing is it's hard to say. I don't want to say it's impossible, but it's nearly impossible to tell how it's going to impact people. They would lay off a lot of people. As they're here, they reported another profitable year, but Kotaku recently learned that an estimated 200 customer service staff are being laid off. According to 4 of the impacted employees, their work is being outsourced to cheaper third-party vendors in Romania and India. No surprise there. It goes on, Comcast, Disney, and Apple did not immediately respond to a request for comment. What the hell are they going to say? Yeah, we're going to buy them, but whatever. And then it goes on. That's the end of the article. Like the thing with Comcast might make the most sense, but it fell through and everything. Disney possibly, but it's like Disney might be wanting to not get into the market of making their own games or owning companies that make their own games, and they do, but at the same time, they can just license out their characters and stuff and let other people do the hard work because they'd be bending over backwards to do that and then reap some of the benefits. Now they could make more money if they were making the games for themselves, but at the same time, it's like, hey, I just you pay me money to use the Spider-Man license, for example. You put all the hard work in. Now we have a couple people who are coordinating things to make sure that the game is good enough. But, you know, anyway, it depends on how greedy they get. I don't know. Apple, I could see Apple wanting to buy them or Amazon or something like that. We'll see what happens because some of the problems could potentially be like, okay, what about what's the NFL going to say if, say, Apple were to buy EA and then want to shove their games exclusively on, oh, it's only on iPad and only on your Apple TV and all that shit and everything. The NFL might be like, what the hell, and then pull the license, which would probably be the best thing for NFL fans, to be quite honest, of video games, because but whatever. Hey, this is all purely speculation and stuff, and I'll link both of these in the description box, but it goes on, and this is a very long article. It's well sourced and stuff, of course, from what I can tell. They mention a lot of different things, talking about various things, but a lot of stuff about EA that I won't really necessarily go into. It depends, because it also goes into like Disney shit and everything. And I've already gone 7 minutes, so there's no point in really going on too much about that. I'll go ahead and wrap this up here. Me personally, I don't. Man, I'm not really a big fan of all these companies just buying each other or being bought up or whatever. Like Activision Blizzard being bought. It's like if Activision Blizzard can be bought, any company can be bought, and it's like, man, it's going to end up being where, is Microsoft just going to outspend everybody? Are we going to wake up one day and hear that Microsoft has bought Nintendo, you know, or that they've bought Sony or something? That would obviously be just an earth-shattering type of event that could be stopped by monopoly, practices and stuff. But I'm not really sure. We'll see. But I'm not a big fan of this because it's like I'm a fan of just everybody being able to play the games they want, no matter the system, no matter the whole. I would love to see just one box come out that everybody made games for. You buy whatever games you want. There you go. Kind of like the PC market, but I don't know. Anyway, I'll quit rambling. I've already gone over 8 minutes now. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.